Hey, this is Mark, and you're welcome to AUTOSAYS. It's 2024, and the average American is now signing car loans that stretch out for 7 years, some even hitting 8 or 9 years, which means you could literally pay for a vehicle longer than some people stay married. And here's the kicker. By the time you're done paying, that car you bought is practically worthless. So who's really winning here? If you think that's just bad luck or poor financial planning, think again, because what I'm about to tell you is going to completely change how you see every car commercial, every dealership handshake, and every low monthly payment promise you've ever heard. This isn't about people making dumb choices. This is about a 30-year master plan, a trap so perfectly designed that millions of Americans walk right into it with a smile on their face. And if you've ever bought a car on credit, you might already be caught in it. So smash that like button right now, hit subscribe, because by the end of this video, you're going to see the car industry in a way you never have before. And trust me, you'll want to share this with everyone you know. Let's go back to 1995, a time when the internet was just finding its feet, when people still used MapQuest printouts for road trips, and when the average car loan was a modest 3 to 4 years. Back then, if you wanted a new car, you saved up, maybe took a short loan, paid it off fast, and moved on with your life. Dealers made their money on the sale, maybe some financing interest, but nothing too crazy. Then something shifted, something quiet but powerful, and it started with a simple question asked in boardrooms across Detroit, Tokyo, and Stuttgart. How do we keep making money even after the car leaves the lot? See, car companies realized something brilliant and kind of terrifying. They didn't need to just sell you a car. They needed to sell you a financial product, a loan that kept you tied to them for years, a monthly payment that became as routine as your rent or your phone bill. And here's where it gets interesting. They didn't do this overnight. No, this was a slow, calculated evolution, like a chess game played across decades. First, they started extending loan terms, just a little bit, from 4 years to 5, then 5 to 6, and the pitch was genius. Why pay more per month when you can pay less and still drive your dream car? Sounds great, right? Lower monthly payments meant more people could afford that shiny SUV or that turbocharged sedan they'd been eyeing. But here's what they didn't tell you. Longer loans mean more interest, way more. And by the time you're done, you've paid thousands of dollars more than the car was ever worth. Then came the second move, and this one was sneaky. They started offering loans to people with lower credit scores, people who traditionally wouldn't qualify for financing. Subprime auto loans exploded in the 2000s, and suddenly dealerships weren't just selling cars, they were selling hope. They were telling people, hey, you can have this lifestyle, you can have this freedom, just sign here. And people did, by the millions. Now you might be thinking, well, that's their fault for signing. And sure, personal responsibility matters, but wait until you hear how deep this goes. Car companies partnered with banks, created their own financing arms, like Ford Credit, GM Financial, Toyota Financial Services. And these weren't just side projects. These became billion-dollar profit centers, sometimes more profitable than actually making the cars themselves. Let me say that again. They made more money from the loans than from the vehicles. Wild, right? Now, fast forward to the 2008 financial crisis, when the housing market collapsed, when banks were crumbling, when the entire economy was on the edge of disaster. You'd think car companies would pull back, tighten their lending, be more cautious. But nope, they did the exact opposite. They saw an opportunity, a massive one, because while people lost homes, they still needed cars to get to work, to survive. And the car industry stepped in like a knight in shining armor, offering easier credit, longer terms, lower down payments. They marketed it as helping American families, but really they were locking people into debt for the next decade. And here's where it gets even brilliant. They introduced something called rolling negative equity, which is just a fancy term for burying your old debt into your new loan. So let's say you owe more on your current car than it's worth, which happens all the time with long loans because cars lose value fast. The dealer says, no problem, we'll just add that to your new loan. And boom, you're starting your new car purchase already underwater, already owing more than the car is worth the second you drive it off the lot. It's like running on a treadmill that's slowly speeding up, and you can never quite catch up. But wait, why would anyone agree to that? Because they make it feel manageable. They focus entirely on that monthly payment, not the total cost, not the interest rate, not the fact that you'll be paying for 7, 8, even 9 years. They've mastered the art of making people think short-term. Think about this month, this year, not the long game. And honestly, can you blame them? When you're sitting in a dealership, when the salesperson is friendly and understanding, when they're showing you that car you've wanted for years and they say, you can drive this home today for just $300 a month, your brain doesn't calculate the total cost. It calculates whether you can afford $300 a month. And if you can, you sign. That's human nature, and they've spent billions studying exactly how to exploit it. Now let's talk about the perfect storm that happened in the 2010s, when interest rates were at historic lows, when the economy was recovering again, when people were feeling optimistic again. Car sales boomed, but not because people were buying cars outright. No, they were financing them, and those loan terms kept creeping up. 72 months became the norm, then 84 months, and now we're seeing loans at 96 months. That's 8 full years. 8 years! Most people don't keep their phones for 8 years, but they're signing up to pay for a car that long. And here's the cruelest part of the trap. After about 3 or 4 years, you get that itch. You want a new car. Maybe yours is having issues. Maybe you just want the latest, greatest model with the new tech. And the dealer is right there, ready to help, ready to roll that negative equity into a fresh loan. And the cycle starts all over again. You're never free. You're always owing, always paying. And the car companies are making money on every single transaction. Some people are on their 3rd or 4th car and have never actually owned one outright. They've just been perpetually making payments their entire adult life. It's like a subscription service, but instead of Netflix, it's a depreciating metal box that costs you thousands every year. Now you might be wondering, didn't anyone try to stop this? Didn't regulators step in? Well, sort of, but not really. Because here's the thing, this entire system is technically legal. It's not fraud, it's not a scam in the traditional sense, it's just really, really good business. Ethically questionable, sure, but legal. And the car industry has lobbyists, powerful ones, who've spent decades making sure regulations stay loose, making sure they can keep offering these loans, keep extending these terms, keep the money flowing. After all, they're not forcing anyone to sign. They're just making it really, really easy to make a bad financial decision. And let's be real, the American economy depends on people spending money they don't have, on credit, on loans, on debt, because that keeps everything moving, keeps factories running, keeps dealers open, keeps the whole machine humming along. So, in a twisted way, this trap isn't just good for car companies, it's essential for the broader economy, which makes it nearly impossible to dismantle. But here's where it gets even darker. These long-term loans have created a secondary market for debt that's eerily similar to what caused the 2008 housing crisis. Remember those subprime mortgages that got bundled up and sold to investors? Yeah, they're doing the same thing with car loans now, bundling them into securities, selling them on Wall Street. And when people default, when they can't make those payments anymore, the whole thing could collapse. And some economists are warning that we're sitting on an auto loan bubble worth over $1.6 trillion, with default rates climbing, especially in the subprime sector. Sound familiar? It should, because we've seen this movie before, and it doesn't end well. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, Mark, this is terrifying, but what can I actually do about it? Great question, and here's the good news. Knowledge is power, and now that you understand the trap, you can avoid it. First, never, and I mean never, focus solely on monthly payments. Always calculate the total cost of the loan, including interest, over the entire term, because that's the real number. That's what you're actually paying. Second, keep loan terms as short as possible, ideally 4 years or less. Yes, your monthly payment will be higher, but you'll own the car faster, pay less interest, and have equity sooner. Third, avoid rolling negative equity into a new loan at all costs. If you owe more than your car is worth, either pay down that debt first or keep driving it until you're above water. I know it's not sexy, but it's smart. Fourth, consider buying used cars that are 2 to 3 years old. Let someone else eat that massive depreciation hit. You get a nearly new car for way less money, and you can potentially pay cash or take a much smaller loan. And fifth, treat your car like a depreciating asset it is, not like a status symbol or a reflection of your success, because the car industry has spent billions making you think you need the latest, greatest, newest model. But the truth is, a reliable, paid-off car is infinitely more valuable than a brand new one with an 8-year loan attached to it. Look, I'm not saying car companies are evil, they're businesses. They're doing what businesses do, maximizing profit. But as consumers, we need to be smarter, more aware, more intentional about these decisions, because this 30-year strategy has worked so perfectly that most people don't even realize they're trapped until it's too late, until they've spent decades making payments and they look back and realize they've paid enough in car loans to buy a house, to fund a retirement, to change their entire financial future. The trap is real, it's sophisticated, it's everywhere, but now you see it, now you know how it works, and that gives you the power to make different choices, to break free, to stop feeding a system designed to keep you perpetually in debt. So here's my challenge to you. Share this video with someone who's thinking about buying a car, someone who might be about to sign a long-term loan without understanding what they're really agreeing to. Because the car industry doesn't want this information getting out. They want you focused on that shiny new ride and that low monthly
payment. They don't want you thinking about the next 7 years of your financial life. But you're smarter than that now. You've seen behind the curtain and you can't unsee it. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button. Subscribe to AUTOSAYS for more content that cuts through the marketing and tells you the truth about the automotive industry. And drop a comment below telling me your car buying story. Have you been caught in this trap? Are you currently in a long-term loan? Let's talk about it, because the more we share these experiences, the more people we can help avoid the same mistakes. Remember, the perfect trap is the one you never see coming. But now you do, and that changes everything. This is Mark from AUTOSAYS, and I'll see you in the next one.